What's the happiest moment of your life?
Ooh, maybe the blind date when I met John. My name is Janis and I run a charity called Camboodian Cocoon, which helps the people in Cambodia. I've been doing this now for over 10 years, so it's a very much a dedicated job, which I love. So Camboodian Cocoon is the name of the charity, and I began after a holiday to Cambodia and seeing the people over there and seeing their struggle and their inability to do any better for themselves without water. So water is the key component to the charity, water and food at the moment due to the COVID situation. So yeah, a trip over there on a holiday and then coming back and wondering what could you do to help, and that began with a water well. And now 550 water wells later, we are still doing water wells and still doing bags of rice, education, etc. Yeah, lots of different things. The water well, as you know, without clean water, it's impossible. Number one, the health, sanitation, unable to grow anything because they only have one season a year for water. So the water well is the key to changing their lives. If we can provide a water well, then they can start to grow food and then they can start to have better lives. And we've seen that over and over again with a family now having a home because they've had extra food, they've been able to sell at market, they've been able to share with their neighbours. So it's a proven thing now, and that's why we've kept on with the water wells as a main part of our charity. Anyone can donate a water well, 450 now. Because of the exchange rate, it makes it a little bit more difficult, but you can donate a water well in the name of your family or in the name of an organisation as birthday gifts, anything. And that water well will be drilled and provided and the family will have it, so it's a done thing. From there we've extended it into the bags of rice, gifts of food as we call them, $50. At the moment, with the lack of food over there, a 50 kilo bag of rice is something a family could never afford to buy. So we've provided over 700 bags of rice in this last 3 or 4 months. But over the years, every time we travel over there, that's a major part of our trip, is to go out to villages and give a bag of rice, a box of noodles, 10 cans of sardines, lactogen baby food, formulas, things like that, to families that we find in need. It's gone from there into education, seeing different children that need to get educated that can't be going to school. We've got 40 odd children now, 40 odd children and families being funded on a monthly basis by private donors. Every month the money goes over there. Every month those children can go to school and they don't have to go collect water. We know they're being educated. It's just kept on growing and growing and growing. Well, since the first time that we went over there and just a couple people wanted to join us, and we said, yeah, that's fine, come along for the ride. After that, another couple and then another couple. More than 70 people now have come to Cambodia with me, with John and I sometimes, or just myself. And a number of them now have been 3 times and are hanging out to go for the number 4 trip. It's changed their lives too. Some of them are just single mums who are working hard, supporting their kids, but now they've got another passion, they've got something else outside of this. These people sponsor a child at Children's Improvement Organisation, not all of them. Some sponsor a tuk-tuk driver, some sponsor a little girl that they've seen when they've been over there. Dee sponsors a couple of children that she met in Battambang when we did our trip around. But they all do something to help. Whatever they're able to do, they do. Some just don't stop giving, and I've got to stop them from look after yourself, look after your own family, but yeah, they just want to do what they can to help. So it is a life-changing experience for everybody. So on the people that are over there, our tour guide that we met on that very first trip, Maroon Heng, he is still my main man. I talk to him daily. He's the man who drills all the water wells. He works all year. He's just at the moment up the top of Laos, the border of Vietnam and Laos, and I spoke to him last night. He's delivering bags of rice out there today. So since our first meeting on that first trip, Maroon and I have been working together, and without him we couldn't do this. He is the main man. From there we also met Sithatung and Sray Mom Rath, and they run the Children's Improvement Organisation, which was going to go under and close at that time. and we met them, and again that connection was just instant. You could sense their beauty and their caring and nurturing. So another 10 years down the track, I talk to Sitha every day. The people that are in Cambodia, it could have been you or I. We could have been born there, we could have been born into this situation. So when you go over there and you see how much they struggle and how they struggle every day without being angry, without any other form of annoying coming out of it, it's hard to comprehend unless you see it, unless you are there, the warmth and the generosity that comes from these people. My husband, John, and I went to Cambodia. So we both saw this together on that very first trip. John and I have been back there, say 21 times, or I've been back there 21 times. John comes every second trip to Cambodia. His favourite time is November. November because it's green and it's wet and it's not as dusty. So each November he's locked in, we're going back to Cambodia. I go February and I often take a group of girls, which is the Debbie Christie and Dee and Alana, Diane Leishman, people from Queensland, New South Wales, people from Scotland, America, come and join us there. So there is a great diversity of the numbers of people that come over and are part of the team. But they're part of the team on a casual basis, but they continue to support. If they wanted to do something to make themselves really enjoy their day and give them something to wake up every morning and get out of bed for, then do some charity work. Any charity work. It doesn't matter if you're going down to Philip Kennedy Centre, if you're going and helping drive buses for the council, or whatever it is. Have a reason, have a core to get out of bed that day. Mental health, I know it gets talked about so much, and I really feel like so many of those people are lost. They're lost because they don't have a passion, they don't have a reason to live. Families are families, and yes, you can help, but they do move on. They have their own lives and the children have their own lives, and then so many people feel a total loss after that as well. But if you've got something like this to be doing on a daily basis and helping people, or helping with any other charity, you could knit beanies all day, you can crochet all day, but you need to be doing something, and something for someone else other than just yourself. It shouldn't be about yourself. Ooh. Maybe the blind date when I met John. That was certainly, you know, well, what have we got up this year? 46 years? No, I don't know. It's 1971, so 49 years. Yeah, because if that hadn't happened, I don't know what would have happened. I know other doors open and all the rest of it, but yeah, that was pretty much an amazing night with a blind date organised. So yeah, I reckon that could be it. Most passionate about helping. That'd be up there in capital letters. So, and changing the lives, giving someone a chance to change their life, support their life as it is now, whether it be with food or whether it be changing what they're able to do, giving them a skill, another skill, so that they can look after their family and that. It is still all about Cambodia. We have changed the lives of thousands and thousands of people. Now, if you looked at the big picture, it would be, yeah, pretty much gobsmacking, because you know, to know that there's over 550 water wells and possibly 5 to 10 people that every one of those water wells has affected, and seeing the education these kids going through with education, and now being at university or being married and having a child, and now also looking after that child and making sure that that child goes to school. So yeah, the passion is just to continue to help, support them and change their lives in any way that we can, in the way that they want to do it. So Children's Improvement Organisation was the organisation that John and I met Sitha Tung and his wife Sray Mom Rath back in 2008. And these young children then that were just going to school, that didn't have school uniforms, that didn't have food or a situation to live in, now to see them growing here in 2020, many of these children now are married, they have jobs, they have become electricians, we've got IT people, a driver, plumbers, carvers, wood carvers, metal carvers, some are just married. They've moved from that situation where you can, if you're good enough to pick out the different children and see them, you'll see them growing as the years pass by. And it is just so beautiful. We've got now one young boy who got married a fortnight ago, and now he's living with his wife and family. So they've all had the opportunity of growing up in a safe environment, having education, medication, food and love. And if they had remained in their village, maybe with one parent or just a grandparent, and they've been abandoned by their family, they would have had no opportunity for education. They would have had no opportunity for a life. And now we're hoping that these young people can change the lives of so many in Cambodia with their skills and their knowledge and their desires. They will have that opportunity to do that. It gives me something every day. It gives me so much happiness, so much pleasure. It's just the most rewarding thing that I could think of. You know, retiring, you retire from work and you've committed your 35 years to working, and then what do you do after that? And I know a lot of people don't want to do anything, don't need to do anything, but unfortunately my nature is I must do something, and I must be doing something most of the time. That's what I enjoy doing. But to do what we're doing in Cambodia is just changing so many lives and just giving us happiness, John and I, happiness on a daily basis. We share the photos, we share what the story was last night, or who's in a terrible situation. So we have a common interest and a common thread, and into retirement, 69 this year. You know, you want to be doing something, and yeah, I don't want to be going down without having a real passion, and that's what it is.